So we're now on to Fusion 360, and all we're going to do now, this is just like the default tabletop or the desktop, and I've just gone to File, like so, and New Design, and this is, you should see something like this. Now, if you haven't done some of the other puzzles already, you need to go into Grid Settings and just go to here, and you need to change major grid spacing to 140 millimeters and minor subdivisions to 14. And I'm just going to cancel that so that we don't change anything by accident. And you want to make sure that you turn on Snap to Grid on this as well, and that's going to make your life easier when you're doing some design work and stuff. So we need to go and do some basic drawings, or sketches as they call in this program. And to do that, we're going to go to the top view first, and I'm just going to use our reverse pinching motion here, or our pinching motion I should say, to get approximately one full square onto the screen. And what I mean by that is the big square, right? The ones with the heavier lines. So there we go, and from here to here and all the way around is our square, and that's the origin or the center. So our base is going to be a rectangle, and we're going to go 2-point rectangle for this. We're going to click in the plane. It's a little hard to describe this. If you're wondering what I mean by the plane here, we can select to have our sketch stand up on its edge if we wanted to, but I don't. I want to choose the standard XY plane that we've got here, and for that I'm just going to click here, and we're going to use our two fingers to kind of pan down to here, and we're going to have our one big rectangle. So I'm going to click at the origin, and make sure that you're snapped to it. That's what the blue box around the origin means. So we snap, click, and we click and snap to our grid here, and there's our rectangle. So we stop our sketch, and now we're going to select this, and we're going to go to Create and Extrude, and it's selected already, and according to our design we're going to make this 1.5 centimeters or 15 millimeters, like so. We're going to press OK, and just so you get a chance to see what it looks like, that's our base right there. Okay. So the next part is going to take a little bit longer, but we now need to design the constituents of our pieces. And oh, you know what? I just noticed something. If I were doing this in front of a live audience, of course, I'm sure people would have mentioned that all of a sudden I realize I'm not designing a square here. So we need to be able to modify this so that it's actually a square here. So you know what? No big deal. We can fix this. I'm going to look at our tool here, and I'm going to go to Modify now and go to Press Pull like we've done. And I want to select this face. Okay, oh, there we go. I'm going to get rid of the edge here, and I don't want fillet here. I'm not sure why it's done this to me. I want Press Pull, and I want to press this face in by 1 centimeter. All right, so now I'm just going to go back to my face, and we're going to push. So this is in default, this is the positive direction. So I actually made this rectangle 1 centimeter too long. So here, that means that I have to make this -10. And then you'll see that I get the square back. All right. So the cool thing is that even when you make mistakes in Autodesk Fusion 360, you can fix them. It's not that big a deal or anything. So just so we go back to our, okay, so there's our base. So we'll do a pinch motion just to get back to here. And now it's time to make some pieces. So what we're going to do now is go back into Sketch, and I want to make a 2-point rectangle. And we had said before, oh, I have to click my plane, so I'm going to make this in the same plane as I make the base here. And I want to be able to make a rectangle, or in this case a square. And if you remember before when we were doing the design, I was thinking of actually making my squares or my side lengths to all be 20 millimeters or 2 centimeters, and then I realized that that might make the edges of the puzzle a little bit weak because they might only be half a centimeter big. So I'm going to change the design a little bit here and make my side length equal to 18 millimeters or 1.8 centimeters. So I'm going to put 18 in here, and I'm going to press Tab now, and that's going to get me to the next dialog box. Oops, that's caps lock. I'm going to press Tab now, and press 18 in here as well, and that's going to be 18 millimeters. And all I'm doing here is making my my square a little bit smaller than the full 2 centimeters, and then that way when I put all the pieces on and stuff, the edges will be a little bit larger. I just want to make sure that everything fits. So I'm going to press enter, and there's my square. So the next thing I'll do is go to extrude now, and we're going to click on the square, and we're going to make it 13 millimeters like so, and that's it. We're done there. So the next thing we have to do here is draw our triangle. It's an equilateral triangle, so we're going to go into sketch, and we're going to go into edge polygon. This is basically, it draws a regular polygon for you that is that has a side that's exactly what you specify, and then we'll be able to specify the number of sides. All right, so it's a pretty cool tool, nice and easy for what we need. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just about to click my second point, but we want to make the side the same as our square, so that becomes 18 like so, and I'm going to press that to tab, and we're going to press there. Okay, that's good, excellent. And now I have to go in and figure out how many sides to make this. Now I have to admit that this is a bit strange, but, and you can hardly see it, but right, oh, there it is, it showed up, edge number. So we want this to be a 3, okay? And so what we've done now is we've created a regular triangle. That means all the angles and sides are the same, and the sides are 18 millimeters or 1.8 centimeters, and they match the square. So I'm going to press return, and there's my sketch. I'm just going to go over here to go stop sketch just to get rid of that dialog box, and we're going to select our body, and we'll go to extrude, and we're going to go to 13 millimeters, and remember this is already highlighted, so I just had to type in 13 and press return, and there I have my 2 shapes. Alright, so we are now going to pick up our shapes, and we're going to copy them. Alright, so we're going to go to there. Actually, you know what? I remember this now. I have to go to move first, so you press M for move. We're going to select our 2 shapes, our 2 bodies, and we're going to go create copy, like so, and we're going to just pick these up and double them like this. All right, and then we'll press OK. And we go to move again, and we're going to select all 4 bodies this time, and we're going to go create copy, and we're just going to pick them up and move them, and now we're going to have some extras, like so. And one more. I'm going to play around with these right here, and then as I need them, I'm going to create some extra copies. So actually what I really want to do here is be able to select one triangle and one square, and then I'll put them off over here, and as I need extras, we can start playing around with that whole thing. So I'm going to press the move menu one more time, and I'm going to select this body and create copy, and we'll pick them up and move them over here. And the reason why we're doing this is that it will guarantee that we don't have a whole bunch of hexagon puzzle or hexagons left over like we did with the hex puzzle or something like that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start to align these pieces together, and we'll do that in the next video.